Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today we are taking a look at a brand new knife that just dropped yesterday, and this one was quite a shocker to me. And if you were to just give me this knife with none of the little markings on it that would give it away, I would have never guessed in a million years that this knife came from the company I'm about to show you guys. And today we are talking about O-Knife. Yes, O-Knife with new packaging, new everything, and what is in here is an absolute banger, dare I say it. We are talking about the O-Knife Rubato 4. Now, before I go any further into this review, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now, before we take a look at some overall specs on this knife right here, let's take a look at this packaging, this pouch, I should say. The outer packaging is rather the same that you've seen on other O-Knife products, but a new pouch, and this is really, really nice. Got some really nice stitching in blue that kind of pops it out a little, but you have kind of a Velcro top here to put any type of patches you may collect or use on like your EDC pouches and whatnot. And then inside, really, really nice interior lining, some type of like really soft velvety finish, really good stuff there. You even have a strap here to hold the knife, which I love. I think that's really cool. You don't really see that on many pouches. And you also have another little mesh pouch in here that you get this coin with. And I mean, to be honest, I could really just care less about the coin. The coin is whatever. But still, it's nice to have that little mesh pouch in there in case there's anything else you want to carry in here, such as who knows, money, real coins, any type of other little EDC things that you EDC. So really nice pouch. That's really cool to see. But what's even cooler to see is this knife, because this Rubato 4, like I said, is shockingly good. Shockingly good. Now, let's take a look at some overall specs on this knife right here. We have an overall length coming in at 7.09 inches, a blade length of 3.04 inches, and a blade thickness at 110 thousandths. Blade material on this guy, we are talking S35VN. That's really nice. A very good looking drop point blade with a full flat grind, a handle length coming in at 4.05 inches, and a handle thickness of 434 thousandths. Handle material on this guy, we got some raindrop carbon fiber that looks really, really good. A crossbar lock for the locking mechanism, which makes it very lefty friendly, especially when you have a left or right hand tip up carry on this guy. A weight coming in at 2.96 ounces and a price a little more up there than what you typically see with O-Knives, but I would argue all day that this is not your typical O-Knife. This is like a new age O-Knife. $149.99. So still not crazy. It's up there with the premium Kaisers and the premium Concepts. So it's right there in that ballpark. And at the end of this review, I'll give you my thoughts on whether or not I really think this belongs in that price category. But first, let's take a look at some size comparisons and see how it stacks up with some other great EDC knives that I really think this knife is in the category of knives like the Kaiser Drop Bear. And this one right here, the Civivi Altus. I've never in my life been able to say O-Knife belongs in a category with Kaiser or Civivi. This Rubato 4 does. It is truly that good, from looks to ergos to design in general. Everything about this knife belongs with Kaiser and Civivi. Obviously, the one big difference is the price, but there are more expensive Kaisers and Civivis as well. This is more for just a size comparison. But just from an overall brand quality comparison, just really, really impressed with what Olight's done here on this Rubato 4. The blade is a very clean drop point blade, and what I like most about it is just how clean it is from a non-branding standpoint. All you have here is the blade steel, good to go there, and then over here all you have is the name of the knife and the serial number. And this is important to note because there was 3,000 of these knives made. So I have knife number 9 of 3,000. So I don't think it's going to be too hard to get. While I do think this is an absolutely fantastic knife, I don't think they're going to sell out of 3,000 overnight. So I think you got time to get one. And yeah, just an excellent looking blade. Great length, great cutting geometry. We have behind the edge reading of 18 thousandths on this guy. So 18 thousandths with a full flat grind, and S35VN is going to give you some really, really nice slicing ability and edge longevity. It's going to hold a good edge. So a lot of good things going on here with this blade. Now, when you get into the handle, it is still fantastic. The one thing about this knife that I still like, I don't love, are the ergos. I do think the ergos are very good, though. When I say I don't love it, that still means I really like it. I mean, don't get me wrong there. It still feels very good in the hand. The only thing that kind of throws it off a little for me is something like the drop bear. The big difference is right up here, where there's a little more of kind of a curvature leading up to, I won't say a point, but more of a noticeable kind of like finger guard area, I guess you could say, as to where the drop bear doesn't really have that flatness there. It's more of just kind of a point, but that the difference between the drop bear and the Rubato 4 handle is I can get I would say just a very easy grip on this knife to where I'm not having to think, where do I want to put my index finger? On the Rubato 4, you kind of have to make a decision, because if you hold it right here, it's obviously kind of awkward. So you either have to choke up just a little, and this feels good, don't get me wrong, it feels good, or you can kind of move back in this position, which I think also feels pretty good. The only issue here is I'm just starting to run out of handle. I would still consider this, even for myself, a 4-finger grip, pretty clearly. But you kind of have to, make that decision. Do you want to choke back a little or choke up a little? As to where on the drop bear, it's kind of just really just one grip. And I kind of like that a little more over the Rubato 4. And that's really just in regards to handle shape and some of the ergos. But again, I do prefer holding it just like this. I think it feels really good in hand. It's a very secure grip. So that is a rather minor complaint. It's not like there's any hot spots or anything that is uncomfortable. So really not a big thing, but I thought it was worth pointing out. The pocket clip, really, really love the improvement they made to the pocket clip here. They went with a milled clip instead of a bent over deep carry clip. And you're still going to have a nice amount of carry in the pocket. There's going to be some of the knife coming up about this much. But again, you guys know me, I prefer the milled clips. I think they feel a lot better in hand, and this one's no exception. It feels, the clip here, it serves all the purposes it should serve. It looks good, it feels good, and it's functional, goes in and out of the pocket just fine. Enough of a ramp there to get over any pocket hem, so excellent job on the pocket clip. And the raindrop carbon fiber. Raindrop carbon fiber is not my favorite type of carbon fiber, but they did a really good job of making this look clean. Like, there's no blotches or pitting or awkward kind of ugly areas to where the circles look warped or messed up. Just a very, very clean finish on that. And as you can see, the way the light hits off it, it is kind of like that lava lamp type effect of just visual aesthetics that I think look really, really good. And of course, it helps keep it somewhat light. 2.96 ounces is not heavy at all. I would consider this a light knife. In comparison to something like the drop bear. The drop bear actually is probably a few tenths of an ounce heavier than this, so very close in comparison to the drop bear when it comes to weight and really just about everything. But yeah, really solid handle. And this crossbar lock, man, oh man, this is some fantastic action. I would also compare it to the drop bear in terms of crossbar lock action. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give the drop bear a 9.5 or a 9, and I would have the action on this at probably like a 8.5 to a 9. It's really, really, really good. Very, very minute differences, and really, I don't even know. The more I carry this, the more I fidget with it. It's kind of hard to even give it that half point difference. I think the only thing that may give the drop bear a slight advantage is the fact that you can adjust the spring tension. But to me, I've said it before, I don't really care about that for me. For some people would like it, but for me, I've never adjusted the tension on the drop bear. I've always kept it right there in the middle. I think it's fine. And that's kind of what this feels like. It feels like it's right in the middle, and as you can see, very, very smooth, easy action, whether you are thumb flicking it or you are middle finger flicking it, or of course you can use the crossbar lock to kick it out and close it. So this knife is the complete package. Overall thoughts on this for me, Even at $149.99, it's an easy yes. It really is. I mean, it stacks up with any knife in this category for 150 bucks with carbon fiber and S35, even with aesthetics. And that's always been my problem with O-Knife in the past, was I always thought some of their knives looked like toys. They looked cheap. They weren't necessarily cheap, but they looked toyish to me. This looks like a real EDC knife for a grown-up, for an adult. So I really, really like that. I love what they did here. It is definitely staying it around, and you may even see this in the Knife of the Year awards at the end of the year on my channel, because this is truly that good for me. Really, really love what they did here, and I can only hope they continue to do more of it. The O-Knife Rubato 4, guys. Let me know what you think of this beast. I really hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and until the next one, I'm out.